Hello, I'm C-Stick and I occasionally release music out upon the internet. So having a hobby is a thing. It might be a signifier for who you are, or it might be something that grounds you in your values and reminds you of what's important to you. It might be the thing that separates you from your professional life and gives your mind some time to relax and think about something else. Switch off. Whatever it might be, I think that doing something that you love and appreciate putting time into only gets more important when the rest of your life gets more and more busy. So a bit of a disclaimer before I start. I do not go by these tips myself. I have tried all of them at some point and I have found them useful, but as is with most things, you try them, they work, things in your life change, and then you forget about doing them. What the fuck?
Well, it's just that you're doing a contest.
Random live stream, that's weird. Okay, I just want to share these things with you since I will start trying to do them more, and yeah, maybe you will find them helpful as well. So with that being said, here are some things that I know to do but need to get better at doing. Yeah, first off, lists of what to do. Yeah, let's start off the list with listing lists. Have you ever found yourself just sitting down and noodling, scrolling for presets or adjusting sounds, like aimlessly just going between presets and stuff? I have lots of times. It's a curse, especially with aimlessly noodling on an instrument or trying to make the perfect tone, or maybe even scrolling YouTube. Wouldn't it be much nicer just to get stuff done? You're not getting done because you're noodling and stuff. Yeah, well, since a couple of years back, I started doing lists just for life. And when routines started forming and the lists weren't as important in my day-to-day life, I did find that my hobbies and my music making and stuff like that were really being helped by doing lists. So what keeping to-do lists helped me with is every time when I figure out something like, oh, I want to do, let's say, just for now, I want to do this video, and I also need to practice a couple of songs for my band. I write them up, like the songs that I need to check out. They are on one list, and then I have another list for videos and stuff. And then I also have this like master list for what am I gonna do on this day. Like, oh, these are the things I wanna do on this occasion when I have time to do what I like to do. So when I come in here and sit down, I just see like, that's the one I should do, and then I do it. It's of course not always that easy, but you get the point, and it helps me. So there you go. Also, a good thing with lists. I've seen a lot of people who like lists and stuff, and they make them, they go through them, and they toss the thing. I think you should take just a second to appreciate what you have done. Let's say that you have a list of things you want to get done today, like in your day-to-day chores or with your hobby thing, and you like cross off things. That makes a lot of people happy to see that they have actually accomplished stuff during the day. So why don't you just keep that list? Just like if it's a post-it, you can just put it under your screen and sit with it for a while. You can keep it there until the next time you're gonna sit down and do something, if you like a tidy space, or I don't know, collect them somewhere. The point being, appreciating what you have done. try it. What can happen otherwise, you do a whole lot of shit, say a project, maybe you have some songs you're working on, you do all the stuff that you do, song is done, maybe you even released it somewhere, and then you get that weird feeling of emptiness afterwards, like, oh, I guess it's all done now. Then it feels like you have maybe only done a song. Yeah, I wrote a song and I released it. Big whoop. But really what you did do was you sunk a whole lot of time and a whole lot of points, like bullet points on those lists. And I think that you should preserve them for just a while so that you can appreciate for yourself that you have done a lot to get through that project. Yeah. So, continuing on lists, always write down what to do next when you end a session. This is not always possible, and sometimes for me I work better by writing stuff down as the day goes on, and I like figure out a thing like, oh yeah, I need to do that stuff, and then I save it for when it's time to do it. But it can also be a good idea when you're finished for the day, because there's always something else to do, right? So just take where you are, say you're writing a song, because that's what we're talking about right now, I guess. Look at where you are, check out the things that you want to do next, write them down, and you're already on your way with the next list for the next time you're gonna work on something, work on this, yeah. So yeah, this is up to each person to figure out if they're more comfortable with writing down a to-do list before they end a session or in between sessions. Sometimes you might want to do one or the other. I won't judge. And since we are on a bit of a songwriting theme here, I recommend using the Notes plugin from Melda Production. I guess it's called M-Notepad. There are others. Thing here is that you get like a plugin that you can save in like the master bus or wherever. Just don't forget where you keep it, so that you can always like write down notes on what you want to do next, or if you're mixing, let's say, you shouldn't maybe not be mixing for an extended period of time. So if you're not the kind of person who can sit down and just get a mix done very quickly, use that to put the specific notes for that track right there. So yeah, now you don't need to keep track of papers or phone notes or something like that. Also, never stop writing on a loop or a dead-end loop, or always leave space for the yes and. I can't tell you how many times that I have been writing something, and I know this is a thing among others too, but say I've written a part, a verse or an A part or whatever, and then maybe I have a chorus as well, and I'm thinking these two are gonna be great together, but I don't have time to think about that right now. No, I'm gonna go do some other shit. Important thing to remember here is to do something else, like maybe copy the chorus part and put in some cool fill, or make some chord progression that moves on somewhere else. Nothing that has to be done, just something that leads over to something else. With this in mind, when you then come back to the session for next time, you can start to create on an idea instead of a cool verse and a chorus. Next point, preoccupation. Or is there something like bothering you? Something that should have been done by the time you're actually sitting here, or whatever? Something like nagging you in the back of your head. Maybe just go fix that. I have a tendency to prioritize everything else before I start doing the things that I want to do. And that has in the past resulted in me not having any time doing what I actually want to do. People around me have said like, "Weren't you supposed to be doing this right now? This fun thing?" And I'm like, yeah, but I just need to fix this thing, because if not, I will be thinking about it. That's one thing. What I'm saying here is, if you have something really important that needs to be doing, that you can't stop focusing on, you maybe should get that dealt with so that you can focus on the fun stuff. Might sound like something that you'd say to like a toddler or a kid or something, but I find a lot of grown-up people kind of need to hear it too. Going back to where you prioritize stuff instead of doing this, for example. I solved it partly by setting out a time for when I am supposed to do the stuff I like. For me, that time often, at least back in the day, was early mornings. So I had done everything I could do the night before going to bed, and it also helped a bit that I was tired and wanted to go to sleep. So I did everything I had to do, told myself that okay, now I'm happy with the state of things, and then when I rose up from bed the morning after, I had a couple of hours where it was only me awake, and I could focus on the fun stuff, and yeah, that worked out quite good for me. For you it might be some other time, of course. I remember when I was a teenager, that time was not the mornings, it was like afternoons before others came home, or maybe I wasn't a teenager, maybe it was earlier. Yeah, whatever. What I'm saying is, if you can find that time where you can do your thing and treat that time as sacred. Yeah. Okay, so the video ran a bit long, and I'm gonna split it up into 2 parts for the next couple of tips here or whatever. Please be back in a couple of weeks, or subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it, so that I know that I'm doing something good. If you have anything to say about what you've just seen, put it down in the comments. If you have any tips for me, or some sustainable creativity things you would like to share with the group, please do so. I'd like to hear from you. Until then, I'm C-Stick, and I sporadically release music upon the internet. Goodbye.